Kecleon kind of similar to Porygon in its gimmick?
That it likes to change types. Except Kecleon's ability sucks.
Unit color?
Color change.
Or color change?
Where if you hit him with an attack, he becomes that attack type.
Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't have any control over it.
No, your opponent has control over it. His hidden ability, Protean, is great. When you use an attack, you change that attack's type right before you use it.
So you get stabbed with any attack.
You get stabbed with any attack, and you can control your type. But Kecleon's stats aren't that good.
Yeah, that was when I was talking to Card Guy.
Yeah, Greninja is the good user of Protean. Because Greninja has good speed and good
water's
attack.
Not a bad type to be anyway.
Yeah, but with Protean, it doesn't really matter what type you were.
I'm just saying it's not a bad starting point.
With Protean, all that really matters is your speed, your attack, and what moves you can learn. I guess Kecleon has the advantage of being a normal.
Why can't Mew learn Protean? It almost makes perfect sense.
Because Game Freak. Also because you can't get Mew.
Oh, that's true.
Mew can't have any abilities.
Do I have Lucio?
I'm surprised Mew didn't have Pressure, which is like the generic legendy power.
Which one?
Pressure.
What's it do?
When your opponent uses a move, it uses twice as much PP. It's not that good.
Oh.
Mew, I think it's synchronized, which means if you afflict Mew with a status effect, you get it too. Which is decent. It's decent. If you paralyze Mew, you get penalized for it. I think it might be able to bypass certain type immunities. Like, you might be able to poison a poison type with it. I'm not sure.
Well, otherwise it kind of limits one of its major effects.
Kind of, because I guess a poison type is not even the most likely to poison you, because the most likely move to poison you, I know in higher end play, is Toxic.
Which anyone can learn.
Right. If someone uses Toxic, it's probably not a poison type by virtue of it being just any type. Though a burn is likely from a fire type or such, but generally, like, the most likely stat in general, I think, is Paralysis, which can be suffered by
a lot of abilities that,
and I don't think Electric has been immune to Paralysis for a long time.
I don't know if it ever was.
I think it might have been at some point. I don't know, but Synchronize isn't going to make or break a Pokemon, but it's good to have.
Mew's extreme freedom of abilities is its biggest sell.
Yes. It's a jack of all trades. It's not the best at anything, but it can be competent at almost anything.
But could you imagine if it had Protean with the ability to do any...
Oh, if you had Protean, it would be amazing.
Be like God tier.
Yeah, because it could... I mean, it's not as fast as Greninja, so there's that, but...
It's not slow, though. It has 100 on everything.
Yes, it's fairly fast, and it's fairly strong, and... Oh, yeah, with Protean, Mew would be extremely unpredictable. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is already Mew's strength, is that when you come up against a Mew, you really can't be sure what that Mew's got, what it's packing.
You with.
If it's even an attacker and not a tank. Because while it doesn't look it, Mew is defensively feasible because all of its stats are decent.
Mm-hmm.
Comparing the other mythicals that have the same stats, they at least can have movesets aligned towards a certain thing. Whereas I think Celebi has a more tanky moveset despite being a grass type, whereas...
Well, yeah, because it's a steel type.
What? No, it's a grass type.
Oh, not Giraffe.
I
was thinking Jirachi.
Whereas, like, Victini has more offensive moves, including, like, one of the best offensive moves that it only sometimes... It's a promotional move on a promotional Pokemon.
Which one's that?
V-Create. You only get Victini from certain events, but only certain Victinis will have that move. He doesn't even learn it naturally.
So it's a randomly programmed start.
It's not random, it's just that only certain giveaways...
Oh, so that giveaway's guaranteed to give it.
Yes,
It's
but
just
most
that-
giveaways don't.
I see.
It's like this giveaway. Certain giveaway victims are just a tier higher. I think it's like the highest damage attack other than explosion. And it also gets stab. And it doesn't kill you.
Which is a pretty big bonus.
Not dying.
Yeah.
I think it lowers your stats or something, but it's a very good move. With a stupid name.
Creating is not
Yeah,
typically what I think of when I
think of attack. V create. Yeah, he just like
he creates
you
a
take-
letter V. And
yeah, he
it's-
takes like just a piece of cardboard and he cuts it in the shape of a V, and then you take tons of damage.
Yeah.
Victini's also really good in Smash as a spirit.
Well, again, it's a mythical.
Yeah, Manaphy's only so. I don't even remember
Yeah,
what
but
it is.
doesn't Manaphy get the shaft as a mythical anyway?
Yeah, it can have sex.
That's not what I meant, but clever.
Oh! I made a pun.
Hey, I don't have that kind.
Yeah, it's a mythical and it can reproduce.
That's the only one.
Or can it reproduce, or is it that... Well, yeah, it must, because that's where Fione comes from. It can have babies that can never mature.
Oh, you can't evolve a Fione?
Fione, yes, that's correct. Fione cannot evolve. Even though
So
it is
it's
the
a
baby...
backwards evolution.
Yeah,
The
it's...
evolved form creates one that doesn't evolve.
It's a very strange thing. I mean, I guess I'm not complaining because the more likely scenario is that it just wouldn't be able to breed at all.
Is Fione better?
No, Fiona is like a baby form. It's weaker.
So then, what's the drive other than completing the dex to do that?
Completing the dex. What's the point of unknown having all these different alphabetical forms?
Yeah, but that doesn't affect the dex. Once you catch an unknown, you have the dex still.
What's the point of Farfetch'd existing?
To make you sad.
Well, there you go.
I'm not wrong, am I?
And Farfetch'd almost had an evolved form that might have been decent.
Doduo.
Madam.
Doduo.
I like Dodrio, but I like multi-headed creatures in general.
I have a Lucamine card.
Full art Lucamine is really nice looking.
Is that the one that's inside of the
Yeah, it's the one with a hat. if you want to call it a hat.
The living interdimensional hat?
Yeah. I prefer the term hyperdimensional. But no, it's interdimensional, you're right. Probably.
Is it called the hyperdimension? Is that what they call it?
No, it's the ultra
Yeah,
dimension.
that's right.
Which is dumb.
Again, Japan likes to be very hyperbolic. That's another thing they do.
You know what though? I think that they really wasted that opportunity for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
For the Ultra Beasts in general, or what?
To make like the plot, the game take place in like
A really surreal.
to make the whole game take place in an alternate dimension where like the Ultra Beasts are the regular Pokemon. I mean, obviously that game would have had to be Gen 8 basically. And I guess, but like, it all came out when it pointed out that Poipole is often like is basically a starter Pokemon in the dimension the Ultra Beasts come from. Well, that makes you want to see this dimension.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
the thing you gotta think about is before they even do that, you gotta realize they've never even had a starter that wasn't one of the same 3 types.
I know, and now we have a poison type. What's the type triangle that we see in this Ultra dimension?
Yeah, is there even a triangle with poison in it?
You could have one. I don't remember what it was, but I think I looked up
It's
several.
ground, poison, something.
Yeah, it would have to. It's poison.
Because poison resists fighting, you know, for some weird reason.
It would have to be psychic or ground.
Psychic resist or
Poison's
psychic
weak against psychic.
and psychic resistance.
No, it'd have to be ground. poison, grass, ground.
Look, the Skiddo looks like a little actual like baby Skiddo in the background.
Oh, little man. I mean, then you'd have grass in both, but it's a weird alternate dimension, you know? Or maybe the circle, it could be 3 types that all have no relation to each other.
Or what if it was dragon, dragon, dragon?
Or what if they were all poison types? Maybe not.
I just like that dragon, dragon, dragon is a type triangle.
It's a weird triangle.
It's a recursive type triangle.
But yeah, maybe it could be like the type triangle could be like poison, normal, dark in the ultra dimension.
They all have no interaction.
Yeah. Well, this is riveting gameplay, but
Yeah, but the talk is interesting.
yeah, I mean,
Or at least I think it's interesting.
but I mean, I guess having a whole generation of Pokemon that's just like weird alien creatures, I guess might not appeal to the mainstream audience.
It also might provide creative exhaustion on the part of the creators.
That could be it too. And whereas like
you
the regular,
have to figure out how to make everything surreal, and you'd have to make at least 100 of them to make it viable.
yeah. Still,
Yeah, but a fan game could do it.
they opened up that can of worms. I'm sorry.
But the bigger thing is, a fan game could do it, and they won't allow fan games. That bothers me. A not-for-profit fan game.
The only fan game I acknowledge is Pokemon Sage.
For me, it's Via Crystal.
That's a fan game.
I mean, it was a fan translation in and of itself.
For instance, people talk about Uranium. The Pokemon from Uranium don't really... It doesn't seem like a Pokemon game. The whole theme of nuclear power it feels...
I don't think I have art of it.
It doesn't feel like Pokemon. The art doesn't look like Pokemon art, and the plot feels too edgy.
So it's like the Halloween mod for
Earthbound, except toned down. Because, like, right off the bat, it's real, like, the main character's, like, mother died in, like, a nuclear power accident.
A nuclear power accident.
Or something. And there's
a nuclear meltdown?
I don't even know the details. Like, maybe.
Or like a radiation leak?
Or something.
Nuclear power accident. It just sounds funny the way you said it.
And there's a nuclear type that is weak against everything but steel, and everything but steel is weak against it. Which seems really unbalanced.
It basically makes all nuclear types a glass cannon.
Yes. Also, there is a nuclear type. But no, Pokemon Sage has just... It looks like an alternate Gen 4 or something.
Okay, then again, what I ask is, would you play a Pokemon game through? Or would it be too slow for you to do?
I think it'd be too slow for us. Wouldn't it? I mean, I could... The IV system has kind of broken me.
What do you mean?
Like, I have the desire to get Pokemon with good IVs now, but that's not a feasible thing to do. I mean, a more casual playthrough, I could do it if there was...
You're not playing to compete against anyone, so IVs don't matter nearly
I
as much.
could do it...
Because you can beat the game with trash IVs.
Yes, absolutely. You can beat the game with a Ditto.
Oh, did they do that? Did they actually succeed?
I think Pika Spray said you could... It proved that you could.
I know he discussed doing a run of it.
In that case, maybe you couldn't.
I don't know whether he completed it or not. I didn't ever watch the video.
No, I don't think... Oh, that's right. You could go through Crystal up until the fight with Red, but you could not beat Red.
It just was
because
mathematically impossible.
Basically. Because his first Pokemon is his weakest, by far.
And you can't switch out.
If you only have a Ditto, no.
Just one Ditto.
Right, because you'd only be able to copy his Pikachu. And all of his other Pokemon will just obliterate it. because Pikachu's terrible.
Did you know that in Let's Go, Eevee is not only the